Hey, this is Timmara signing on with the final part of Bioshock 2, Minerva's Den. I hope that came off clearly. Anyways, last time, after running through operations and me fumbling around, getting ahead of myself and eventually getting on track, we are in the last section of Minerva's Den. This should not take too long, I don't think, based on this map, but let's carry on. So, let's head this way. We should, no matter how this goes, we will finish up Minerva's Den in this go. So there's no little sisters to find, so let's just get to the end. Is there a guy that was guarding here? Okay, over in the computer core.
What is driving you into the core, Sigma? What compels you to defy the Thinker's equation?
Answers coming soon. I figured somebody would be down here.
Is it your deep love for Porter and for Tenenbaum? Ha! You hardly know them, Sigma. You have never even met them.
Fountain of Youth? That's pretty good. Let's... Especially since we're just calling through water right now. I think we'll have to do that a bit for this last part.
Ryan's secret police came for Porter long ago. And now he has reappeared in Minerva's den? A man sent to Persephone does not just open his cell door and walk home.
Oops. Oop, come on. There we go. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, trying to get through this, and, you know, it sounds like they're doing some little minor, not construction work, but little housework upstairs, so hopefully that doesn't come up on the video.
I've tried to keep you from the heart of the machine. You did not listen. When the pangs of familiarity sting you, my friend, you will have only yourself to blame.
Why didn't you try saying please? Did you ever think that might have worked?
Well, Thinker, Ryan's secret police are on their way. They cooked up some kind of evidence against me. Treason, they say. I've heard what happens to folks who get disappeared, come back as one of those metal daddies. So, I'm leaving you with something to cogitate on in my absence. Inputting Rapture Departure Protocol. Figure a way to get yourself out of this city, Thinker. You've got to live on, no matter what happens to me. You'll find a way.
So, yeah. And just immediately like that, you know, Porter was taken away, but he gave a protocol to, you know, there was one last protocol to find a way to get out. And maybe that's, yeah, and that maybe is what's happening now. Maybe it's actually, well, let's carry on. I'll dissect. It's starting to come clear now, but let's just get through the rest of this before I start spouting. Real quick, let's just do Lecture World 3. Can we not? Oh, we don't have enough for... That's fine.
You're in the Thinker's core. The code printer is upstairs in the control booth. Top-level access only. You'll need to confirm your genetic identity to start the printing process.
All right. Carry on. We're almost there. Hold on a second. Yeah, Bathysphere Dock. Transmission, Dr. Bridget Tenenbaum. So, yeah, this is where Tenenbaum got her message sent to. But where's Porter?
Porter, you have forced my hand, you see? The Thinker is shut down. That leaves only two variables. You and me. The equation ends here.
You really think you have a chance?
Herr Sigma, it is Dr. Tannenbaum. With the computer disabled, Minerva's den is falling to pieces. No pressure regulation, no air supply. You must defeat Vol and bring the Thinker back to full power.
Defeat Reedwall. We're getting surrounded by Alpha Series. Keep them pinned while we keep shooting. Alright, when we take melee damage, we send out electric shock. We're getting battered around. I think the solid slugs are... I'm not sure actually what the solid slugs do, if they're for armor piercing or anti-personal. Where's... Oh, no more thermal cells.
Your moment has come, old friend. I stand before you, the trusted partner who put a knife in your back. Do not disappoint me.
Where'd he go? Yeah, he's all spliced up. Oop. He's just out of it. Hold on. Hold on, I'm hoping to find more burst cell, because that's fun. There we go. To be fair, he put up a better fight than Fontaine.
Take the administrator punch card from Vol's body and reactivate
Pseudo?
the Thinker.
I'm sure that means something. What did we just pick up off of him? Looked like a piece of brain or something. Punch card. Wait, back up there. Almost got it.
Mainframe reactivated. Confirming user's genetic identity. Genetic identity confirmed. Alpha Series. Subject Sigma. Former identity. Charles Milton Porter.
Boom! Now hold on.
Welcome back, Milton.
System ending personality duplication. Subject Charles Milton Porter.
Yeah.
You see now why I let the machine speak for you, Mr. Porter. We needed a voice that would be familiar, comforting, your own. With that copy of the Thinker's programming, we may return to the surface and use it to restore you to the man you once were. Please, collect the printout and meet me at your bathysphere dock. Take your time, Mr. Porter. I will be waiting.
We'll be right there. Yep, so that's the big reveal. Sorry, frankly, I find that, like, you know, on the level of a would you kindly, because, wow. So, the Thinker, you know, Porter's got taken away, which, if the Thinker can, you know, copy personalities, it probably copied Porter's already, and that's what Wall used to get him arrested. And, you know, Porter got sent to Persephone. What happens to people when they go there? They, get turned into Big Daddies. So, he's been a Big Daddy for however long, but the Thinker also was given a directive before Porter got taken away to find a way to get to the surface no matter what. So, it reached out to Tenenbaum to kick off get the ball rolling, and then reached out to Porter. Because that would be the thing to, you know, who knows better than Porter to get through the Thinker. It's just like this really weird, like, circle back in on itself. But that's not all.
I believe I'm done feeding audio recordings and personal anecdotes to the Thinker. I am set to test the personality duplication function. Target personality, Pearl Porter. Thinker, are you ready?
Yes, Milton.
Starting test. Hello, Pearl.
Hello, Milton.
How... How have you been?
Just wonderful, Milton. I've missed you, though. It's been so long.
Pearl, No, this isn't right. It isn't her. Thinker, stop the test.
But what's the matter, Milton?
Oh, God.
Don't you still love me?
Oh, God, I said end function, Thinker. Now. It's over.
Yeah, and that's just another gut punch this entire process. Is that's how the personality testing got figured out. But, you know, it's just an AI replicating her personality, not the real person. And at least he figured out the distinction really quickly. But I suppose that gave him the idea. That was the start of the idea on how to get the Thinker out of the... or, you know, for what the Thinker could do to get itself back to the surface. Probably could have kept moving, but I didn't want anything to interrupt just in case. Yeah, and just in his office is all the paraphernalia of the lady herself. Just going through. It's just a somber... And this, you can see how this last section kind of began the... You know, basically was the... Well, if you take it, the first steps of the walking simulator. Because this last slow, methodical moment of just looking at things and getting the last bits of the story.
It could not leave you behind. Please, step up to the console and begin the bathysphere launch sequence. We have much work ahead of us.
Yeah. And just right at the end, it unloads all the information. And then if you were thorough, like you should, you get, hey, Tenenbaum, didn't think you'd be here. Hey, what's up? Just looking around. Let's get out of here. So yeah, and at the very least, at the end of it all, maybe Porter can become human again.
I lived through the Blitz, Pearl, and the fall of Rapture. They took my memory, my voice, everything that made me a man, but nothing ever scared me so much as saying goodbye. I wanted to save you. I couldn't resist trying to bring you back the only way I knew how. But you didn't want that. I know it now, and I think I'm finally ready to let you go your way. I stand here with the sun on my face, and it's almost like I can feel you smiling. Goodbye, Pearl. I love you more than I've got words for. Milton.
Yeah, and at the end of it all, you know, he became human again and was able to say his proper goodbyes. Which is really effective, maybe more so because it was a silent protagonist that got his voice back. And that's something I feel maybe was lacking from Bioshock 2, decided strong emotional connection. And yeah, that's a small cast for, you know, what this is. There was not a lot of people working on this part of the game, because it was just its own thing. And anyways, silent protagonist is part of the Big Daddy, which makes sense, but Milton's final goodbye and, you know, the realization after everything, it really makes, like, everything we just saw hit so much harder. And yeah, that's Bioshock Minerva's Den. How was it? It's still really good. It's a little, well, it doesn't drag, I can't say, because we're done in less than under 3 hours. You know, doing everything with the Little Sisters seems a little bit, you know, again, kind of token. Like, more tradition of Bioshock rather than essential for what it is. And, you know, there's a couple of things that you still do that don't make sense in terms of Porter. You know, being the Big Daddy as opposed to Delta. But, nevertheless, it's all about the story of Porter. What his life was like before, during, and after Rapture. And it just brings so much together and tells such a powerful story through very simple means. Again, with the keywords I might have slipped up, you know, maybe you could have gave away the game a little bit early, but it still makes you realize just like how everything went. And that last section especially gave you such the vibe of a walking simulator, like Gone Home, Edith Finch. I still gotta play that, actually. But it just said everything so quietly. And, you know, just the walking, listening to an audio log, and just, like, piecing the story together as it's being told to you. And, you know, though, again, these people went off to create their own team and then made Gone Home, where you travel, like, your family house when everyone else is gone. It's got a really good horror atmosphere, and then when you realize the twist, it kind of goes away because it's not at all scary. But it's an interesting, at least in Gone Home, not to give away too many spoilers, but it tricks you into thinking it's a horror game and then just becomes like a very realistic love story. And, you know, all the details are just for you. Bit pricey as a game, and, you know, that's really all that happens. Again, once you find out, like, the real twist, it kind of takes away from the game, because then the horror atmosphere goes away because you realize there's nothing scary in the house. But anyway, but what it did was just, like, how to tell a story just through walking and telling it to you. And, you know, people argue, is that really a game? And, you know, even Boulder Punch brought it up. It's just sort of like, oh, yeah, Gone Home is like an overpraised, you know, overpraised, and the media made it seem bigger than it was. But it really did kick off, like, a change in, you know, game perception. And, you know, how a simple thing could be made into an interesting story. And, you know, some companies better at it than others. Chinese Room famously with Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, really made a bad case for walking sims and is one of the primary examples of don't do this. But they can be good. Although one thing Boulder Punch brought up is maybe use the walking sim element at the end of a game rather than have it be a whole game around it. Like, then again, would Minerva's Den, well, I suppose with Minerva's Den, the context is, you know, I was thinking, would Minerva's Den be better if it was just a walking simulator? No, because you need that context of, like, fighting for, you know, the context of fighting to get Minerva's Den out and defeating Reed as the enemy. And, you know, you need that conflict in order to, like, push it through. So, yeah, it's just, like, it's a mix of, like, gameplay and walking sim that needs to be met. And BioShock 2 does that really well, you know, even though it's just like a small part of another franchise. But what it does with its time and what a small team could do, and it brought us one of the best plasmids in the series, and it brought us, you know, one of the best stories in BioShock. And, you know, that's saying something considering, you know, the BioShock's 1 and Would You Kindly and BioShock 2's emotional core, and yet Minerva's Den, in like a much more condensed way, I think is a stronger emotional core than even BioShock 2, just because it's so compact and it's so tight. It's so, you know, it's so short, but it's enough to tell you a lot. And it's so, you know, it doesn't overstay its welcome, so you can be invested in, like, those last moments. And when it really kicks in, you're invested in Porter's story, and then when you find out, like, something's deeper as you go, it's in that last section, which is, you know, was barely even 15 minutes. So it does take even that long to get there, 2 hours, which isn't too bad of a time investment. And so you can feel connected in a short amount of time, but, you know, have that feel like enough. So, yeah, Minerva's Den still maybe, I'm not sure, because now I gotta consider, it's a stronger emotional core than BioShock 2, I feel, but BioShock 2 being like a full game is another thing. So, but nevertheless, Minerva's Den is still, you know, one of my favorite things to come out of BioShock. The more BioShock I play, the less I like the original BioShock. Not that it's a bad game, it's just that other parts of BioShock are just so much better with what they can do. You know, BioShock 1 was the start of like was the start of something, but BioShock 2 and Minerva's Den, you know, just could do so much with such a different avenue. Or, you know, took the BioShock leaping off point and created such good things. So, yeah, I don't think there's much more I can say about Minerva's Den. It was a really good final additional chapter with a really good, you know, just short, simple story. And again, this led to, like, kind of like, which was the precursor to the boom of walking sims. So, you know, I think that's a good thing for a variety of reasons, although I should play more walking sims. But, yeah, for what it did, Minerva's Den was a really good, you know, just extra chapter of BioShock. If you just wanted to play more BioShock and you didn't want to do the stupid Protector trials, there you go. There's more BioShock. But, sorry. Ugh, I haven't even ate that much. But, yeah, it's more BioShock, but then it does so much more by having one of the best stories in BioShock. Okay, I think I'm done rambling. This will be cut short because that's pretty much covers everything that needs to be said about Minerva's Den. It's another great piece of BioShock content. And, yeah, great little story, and, you know, at least somebody was able to get out of Rapture proper. Well, a lot of people gotten out of Rapture, I should say, but Porter seems to be the one who got, like, best off out of the Rapture. But, okay. Anyways, with that all being said, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe and all that. This is Timmara, signing off. And thank you for watching me play Minerva's Den.